Farnsworth's Confession by Bruce Farnsworth. Every family has one, rattling around the ancestral closet, some stinking skeleton whose crimes have so indelibly stained the pages of the family history that the stench wafts on generation after generation. The shame of the slave owner shows up in the way his progeny look at their feet at the NAACP fundraiser. The grandchildren of Nazis walk faster when they pass a synagogue. The Kennedys know what I mean. I too have lived this nightmare. I know all about hiding and cover-ups. I've now resolved to end my running. The hiding that began 30 years ago when PBS ran a special on my infamous relative, and I immediately moved to Alaska, assuming, correctly, that so few people here watched PBS that I would be safe. The one thing that relatives of infamous ancestors know is that nothing can erase the stain. Some forms of human activity are simply so evil that generations of offspring should bear the burden. And like Cain, my very name is saturated with shame. I envy the great-great-nephews of Pol Pot, Hitler, Stalin, Attila the Hun, Count Dracula, the various popes, Slobodan Milosevic, Lyndon Johnson, and all those other lightweight poseurs that populate the Guinness Book of Crimes Against Humanity. The horror their families feel has some limit. The cancerous force unleashed into the world by my family stupefies. It was my great-great-uncle Philo T. Farnsworth who invented the television. Yes, I have been living a monstrous lie, but before you condemn me, put yourself in my position. Ask yourself honestly, what would you have done if it was your relative who brought the world chips? If you could be blamed for reducing our Western literary heritage to the pale pulp of masterpiece theater, how would you bear it? If the endless series of lies and absurdities we call the nightly news could be laying at your door, wouldn't you want to lock it? If all the mind-numbing, brain-clotting, heart-hardening, shit-headed claptrap that's poisoned the planet day after day for the past 50 years was your family's fault, if you bore the guilt for an invention that in 3 short generations transformed ordinary human greed into the turbocharged stuff lust that now drives our every thought, yea, verily our every act, if the obliteration of humanity's spiritual core could be traced through the bloodline straight back to you, where would you find solace? Great-great-uncle Philo started it all. And it's an irony worthy of the last dumb century that his big aha about inventing television came to him while he was trudging behind a plow, carving furrows into the dusty Idaho clay, and made him think of electronic rows of video signals. This knowledge that even a peasant could be carrying Pandora's key has brought me a life of utter paralysis. Don't move, don't look, don't think, don't act, definitely don't plow. No penance could possibly undo this deed. I know that. I'd gladly make one of those gruesome pilgrimages where you wear rags and crawl across stony plains on hands and knees, or maybe even join a 12-step program if I thought it would help, but it won't. It's too late. Imagine with me for a moment that first episode of Gilligan's Island, moving uninterruptedly through the cold vacuum of space. It's already way past the sun, halfway to Alpha Centauri.